taught me so simple, so grand. Eat bologna, buy land. Eat bologna, buy land. Trade the fork for the deed in your hand. Skip the filet, let the sandwiches stand. Your fortune will grow when you buy your own land. Yeah, yeah.
We made it. Welcome to Land Geek Nite Cap, gentlemen.
Cheers.
I love that opening. I think it's just a matter of time before Jersey Mike's wants to sponsor us. Eat bologna, Jersey Mike's, and buy land.
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, I have an opening hook here, so I'm going to do that. All right. So this is for our faithful viewers and our new watchers. Tonight we have a great topic. So some of you may realize, most of the financial advice we grew up with, we grew up hearing, just doesn't work anymore. Are you saving your way to wealth? Inflation eats it up. Are you waiting for a promotion? It's a gamble. Pensions, a thing of the past. The truth is, the majority are losing by following the old playbook. So tonight we're going to talk about the inflation hedge your financial advisor won't mention, land, and how you can use it to actually stay ahead. Always remember, if you're watching the replay, don't miss the next one. Join us live every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Fellas, good to see you here.
Great to see you.
Great
seeing you guys.
Mark's here, John Burnett, Mike Zano. I'm Scott Bossman. Look how big my cup is.
It's huge. You can fit a lot of those things.
Your cup spilleth over?
It runneth over with beer. Oktoberfest beer.
Your cup runneth over with beer. So, Mike, by the way, before we even get into it, who are we? What do we do? Why even listen to us?
Because we're just a bunch of regular guys that buy land and sell it and make a whole bunch of money doing it. I mean, that sounds a little presumptuous, I suppose. But, Mark's been doing it for close to 3 decades. I've been doing it for over a decade. So isn't the other 2 guys in this call, John and Scott. Essentially, we've really perfected, under Mark's tutelage, but we've all perfected the ability to buy these assets $1,000 to $5,000 typically, and we can convert them into cash flow. I mean, Mark, can you imagine? I never imagined when you were I could take a $3,000 property and create $300 a month of cash flow. That asset, that purchase price to create $300 a month, that's crazy significant, isn't it? I mean, I'm no financial advisor, but it seems pretty good to me.
No, absolutely. And I think this topic is really interesting for a number of reasons. Because what Scott was talking about is the big financial scam, right? How many of us grew up hearing get a good education, get a good job, put your money in your 401k, and then when you're 69 and a half or whatever age it is, I don't know when people retire, but at some point in time, you're going to retire based on these investments. And these are what the financial advisors tell you to do. The system's rigged. It's rigged in so many ways, in so many terrible ways. And so I can kind of pick it apart. And then it's we have the antidote. We have the answer to this rigged system. But John, when you grew up, how many people did you know our age or younger that had solved their money problems, their time problems?
Yeah.
And they did it because they invested in IBM.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, nobody, right? And also I think the idea of retiring or having time freedom when you were under the age of 40 was almost unthinkable. It was you had to be, some kind of crazy snowflake to accomplish something like that. And that was something that I couldn't wrap my head around. And even jumping into this, I was can you really do this? And the reality is, yes, you can, right? Well, you can build something up that actually generates a level of income for you. with consistency that exceeds your income. Like you can do that, and you can build a machine that doesn't require a lot of you in order to run. But yeah, I mean, stocks and traditional investment, like I didn't know anybody who had accomplished that at under 40, right? Like I knew people that were retiring in their 60s and 70s, but that was kind of it. So
Yeah. Dude, buddy, what about you?
Yeah, it's kind of funny, right? I always had the notion that like there was this retirement pinnacle in life. And once you hit the pinnacle, then you were just done. You just sat around all day and like didn't do anything, and right? Like you maybe got in your camper and went down to Florida for a few months, but there was really nothing to do because you just retired and that was it. Like nobody leads that lifestyle anymore, right? Nor should you want to really lead that lifestyle, in my opinion. Like, am I going to get to the age of 65 and just quit using my brain and my body and quit learning, right? Learning for me is lifelong now, right? So I think there's been this kind of mindset shift, this whole kind of, I don't know, retirement used to be, okay, I'm going to hit this age and I'm going to stop doing what I do and I'm just going to relax. Well, now people aren't going to do that, and they can't do that anymore because, if we're going to, we live a lot longer than our ancestors did, right? Mark, you're going to live till you're 110, right? You need to have,
I mean, I mean, that's like a baseline. But if I'm being ambitious, I'd like to be, over 200. Biblical, biblical age, baby.
And Mark, you have to work every day of your life to support yourself. That's just how it is.
I mean, the thing is, like, I don't want to retire, but like the truth is, like, I've been kind of semi-retired since 2015. Anyways,
semi-retirement is great.
Semi-retirement. I mean, I think that's, I want to have money, time, and health at the peak of my life. So I can work when I want, where I want, with whom I want, do what I want, not have money worries, not have time worries, raise my kids, spend time with my friends, pour into my community, volunteer. I have agency. I think that's what we really want, is one agency.
I like that.
Mike is retired from from being a firefighter, right? But he's still doing stuff. I mean, people that retire, I don't know. Like, I don't know how happy they are. I know that the statistics are that once you lose your purpose, your life you kind of die earlier, right? When you have a reason to wake up every single day, whether it's to give value or to volunteer, or you're looking forward to your next adventure, whatever it is, you're excited. Now, for some people, it might be improving their golf game. I just don't think it's the majority of the people. I think it's a very, very small percentage of people that want to, retire traditionally and just play golf every day as a challenge. I think most people want to give value somewhere in their life and have that in that agency. I could be wrong. I could be speculating, but that's what I think.
Well, I think I think the longer you have that mindset, I totally agree, Mark, the longer you will live, right? The longer you actively contribute to your brain power, to the good of others, right? To your children and grandchildren, through whatever means that may be. The longer you're going to keep moving. It's all about movement, right? I'm a physical therapist. There's different types of movement, though. There's physical movement, but I'm totally convinced there's mental movement as well, right? You keep moving. Mike Zanel, he's still doing jiu-jitsu. I mean, this guy, right? I can't imagine doing jiu-jitsu, but he's still moving. He's getting stronger every day, which is not common for people over 50, right? You just have to commit yourself to move. You have to commit yourself to mentally move as well. We're getting a little off topic here, but I do think that's a hedge against like it's a hedge against uh inactivity, inaction, right? And dying, right? You got to keep moving physically, keep moving mentally, and that's a hedge against dying. It really is.
Yeah.
So don't just retire. Don't hit this pinnacle and just stop.
I couldn't agree more. I tell Mark, I say that, oh, did John not want to hear what I have to say?
John just is like, I heard enough.
John. Anyway.
John's calling his stockbroker right now. He's going along.
It reminds me what I remember when we had the round table. I do the tip of the week, and Scott Todd would just disappear because he couldn't stand my quotes. Like, this is what just happened here.
Yeah,
this is it.
Pull the Scott Todd.
Pull the Scott Todd.
Oh,
Mike, I don't. What I tell people is, I'm not retired. I'm refocused. Really,
Yeah.
I'm not retired. I'm refocused, and what you guys are describing is so real. What I was seeing in my field, in the fire department field, was that we could retire up. We could work until the age of 65. And I know that people love the job. It's a wonderful job. It really is. But what would happen is, inevitably at that point, when they would retire, the system won every time, right? In terms of them collecting their pension. Either they would get sick, their spouse would get sick, or both. And it was very short-lived, their enjoyment, And but that's just that old thought process. I'm going to work as long as I can until I can't work anymore, and then I'm going to go enjoy things. And it just, I like what you're saying, Mark, with agency. Like, and how would I'm like really liking what you said. Like, how would you define it when you say agency? Is that your ability to go create change in the world? Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, exactly. I think that means that you are not subject to external circumstances.
Okay.
In a sense, like you can make things happen because you have agency in your life, right? Like if I want to go and do jujitsu tomorrow, I have agency because I have the time, and I have the money and the health to do it.
Control.
But if I'm working a 9 to 5, tomorrow's Wednesday, I don't necessarily have that agency to go and do that.
Yes.
Because I can't do it in the middle of the day. Maybe I could do it after work.
Okay.
Right. Okay, that's great. But if I'm just, living for my future, essentially. So I'm living the traditional path, working hard at my job, putting money in my 401k. I'm hoping that my investments beat 8.5% inflation.
Right.
Typically they won't. Right. So, I mean, I guess they could. I think over a long period of time, S&P 500 averages 10%. So let's say you give a real return of 1.5%. That's not going to do it. The traditional way is broken. But what I'm saying is agency is like, I'm living for this future time. There's no guarantee I'm going to have the health to go do the things I want to do.
Right.
There's certainly, I'm betting on the time, which is great. But then will I have the resources? I don't know. The market could turn that year that I want to retire. So the other way of doing it is the land business. So here's a strategy that's going to beat inflation, but it's also going to provide you passive income in the prime of your life so that you can have money that exceeds your fixed expenses so that you're John Burnett. You want to have 22 kids and raise them in Idaho? Great. You have agency. You can do it because John's built a machine to do it. John, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Like, ultimately, I think having time freedom, like, I'm a big believer in being busy. I just want to be busy on the things that I want, right? And so ultimately, when it comes to time freedom, that's kind of what I'm looking for. Valerie and I like to be busy. We like to work hard, but we want to do that on our own terms. And then, it gives us the flexibility to do that.
Absolutely. But if you talk to a financial advisor today, they would tell you to take all your profit and buy this paper asset without actually explaining to you what's really going on in the economy. And the worst advice might be put into a savings account, keep cash. Well, inflation is literally eroding that cash. So what is going up in value?
Mm-hmm.
Inflation
assets.
hedge, hard assets, gold, silver, for you crypto nerds, right? Because it's got a finite amount of Bitcoin. They're not, it's not like fiat money where they can just print more of it, which is hurting the value, right? And then you've got land. There's a finite amount of land. But what else goes up? Asset prices. Who wants to buy a house today?
Mhm.
Nobody does because the asset prices are so crazy. But they were like that 5 years ago. And so these traditional stores of wealth continue, right? Assets. But what's the best asset is one that is cash flowing, a cash flowing asset. And so what I love about our land model is we're taking a business of creating cash flow in an asset we don't have to maintain, we don't have to protect, can't be destroyed. Inflation's our friend.
I love it. I have this image in my mind now, Mark, like where it's like, all right, I have this piggy bank, right? I'm putting all my cash in it. And every year, this little gremlin's coming and just taking away little bits of it and just taking it away. And this is the inflation. But that same little gremlin goes and tries to dig. What's he gonna do? Dig a little dirt out of my land every year? He's not gonna. It's not gonna devalue my land. He's not gonna be able to do the same thing to my land portfolio as he can to my storehouse of cash or coins or whatnot. So I think I'm getting what you're saying. It makes total sense. And this agency, to me, it's like I'm not generating income. I'm generating opportunity to do the things I love, with the people that I love. And that's through, this mechanism of investing in land. So, yeah, thank you. You made that very clear. And it makes total sense to me.
I appreciate it.
By the way,
Appreciate it.
I see what John did. Do you all see what he did? He came off and came back on and bumped me to the other side of the screen.
I mean,
Oh
that was
yeah.
the whole point. I'm
I
a
see what he
lower
did.
left guy. It's kind of my thing. So
I mean, you're kind of kissing
It's all
up
right.
to Mark tonight, so to be below him is
Oh,
it's the perfect position for you.
This is
Really
my
like what you're
second
saying,
power
Mark.
outage tonight.
well, I get what he's saying. It makes sense to me.
It makes wonderful sense. It really
I mean,
does.
it does. It's listen, I'm just so fortunate because literally my life was heading in one direction. And then
Yeah.
finding the land investing, it's just like, and I always tell people it's like you're going left, and all of a sudden you want to go right. You might not be able to turn right with both of your hands. You might need somebody else to grab a hold of that wheel, or a couple other people, like community of people to take that wheel and start turning in the other direction, or else you're going to keep going left, right? So I'm very grateful for this. This is like you guys have all helped me collectively turn my steering wheel in a different direction, so I'm ending up in a different location.
No, I love that. I mean, I love that Jim Rohn, saying you're the average of the 5 people you hang out the most with. Well, what if your average isn't great, right? Like they're not as ambitious as you. They're not watching these types of YouTube videos or listening to podcasts that are about improving their life. Like then, like we can create our own 5 ourselves.
Yes.
And we have this land geek community where we can aspire to be, in like John and Scott and Mike, like solve your time problems, solve your money problems.
Plug something, Mark. Here's a great time because how often are you going to get a group of land investors in one place at one time that you can hang out with live? Very rare. And we have an opportunity coming up in November that you can come and you can surround yourself by people that are actively doing this business. I don't know where else in the world you can do that. Like literally, when are you ever going to have the opportunity to saturate yourself with just information and just a collective mindset of growth? Like this is, do we have a link to that? Scott, you're the link master. Do we have a link to this? I mean, can people still come? Are we booked out? Is it still open?
No, yeah, you can still get tickets. Dirt Rich Summit.
Okay.
This is the month to book. I actually just booked my tickets.
Me too.
Yeah.
My
Get there on the
tickets are booked
5th, but like we start the 6th or the 8th.
Yes. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. So we'd love to meet anybody out there that, hey, listen, the best way to really just get more information, or not even that, but just to excel and grow in this business, surround yourself by people that are doing it. So come join us. We'd love to meet you in person. You can eat bologna and buy land with us.
You eat bologna, buy land. Live events change lives. It's funny. I remember we used to do those live boot camps.
Yes.
And I remember that one woman, she was with her husband. I'm like, why are you here? And she's like, I wanted to see if you were for real. She's like, very skeptical. She's like, my husband took me here. I just wanted to see if you guys are for real. And I think there's a lot of that today where unless you're in the room with us, you don't know. And just because we're successful in land doesn't mean anyone else is. Like, get into the room with a bunch of successful land investors and get those nuggets of wisdom and pick their brain, make those connections, network. And Mike, to your point, like there's something like really special today about connecting with somebody who might be a little bit ahead of you and also gets you, right? Like we all get it. Like we're not interested in the next promotion at work. We're interested in the next big deal or the next process, or how do we buy back our time with the next virtual assistant, or the next piece of software that's exciting, or John Burnett's AI thing, right? And if we're in that room, we can get this information. And Mike, you're going to do a mindset module there. Like that alone is worth the price of admission. Jessica Tran, we were at Elite last week in Newport Beach. She's like, Mike changed my life. 1 hour with you changed complete trajectory of her life, her business. She's over 15K a month in passive income. She's only been in 2 years. She's getting ready to quit her job. I guess I shouldn't say that publicly. Never mind.
Too late. Like the time
we take it back.
Not the Jessica you're thinking of.
Remember the time when it wasn't cool to have COVID and Scott had COVID and you told the whole world on the podcast? You remember that, Mark? Scott Boston, you're like, oh, and Scott's got COVID. It's like, wow.
Yeah. I got COVID
my therapist
really
was saying I had bad boundaries. Working on it.
That was classic.
That is great.
Yeah. Major HIPAA violation, but that's fine.
Yeah. So, sorry about that. HIPAA violation. Awesome. Anyways, for those of you that do have a secret, I promise I won't tell.
Yeah,
I just get excited.
Mark's great at keeping secrets. Trust me.
I am actually really good at keeping secrets. My dad, by the way, not so much. So it's kind of like I'm fighting in my genes. But I digress. Dude, buddy, where do we go from here? How do we even pivot out of this? Get me out of this.
Get you out of this. Well, how about we read some comments? That's usually a good
let's open it up. We're at the halfway point. It's time.
It's time. Well, let's read some comments, get some questions. I do want to comment on one thing you said though, Mark. Like I do love what you said about financial advisors. Like they don't talk about land because they're not going to make money with land. They're only going to make money with the stuff they recommend, right? So
they're incentivized not to make you rich. They're incentivized to make themselves rich. Exactly. And they get the recurring income on your investments. Like they figured it out.
And that's something I think I caught on to a few years ago that I'm glad I did. Like all my friends were getting financial advisors, right? And I kept putting a delay on it. I just didn't do it. And I didn't do it. And I didn't do it because I kept asking questions. I kept doing a little bit more research. And I'm like, I don't know if that's the right path, right? And after learning a little bit more about it, they're completely and totally incentivized. They make a lot of money getting you to invest in the things they want you to invest in, right? And that just may not be the right play. What I love about land is, you're exactly right. Like we're buying these things at a deep discount in the first place. We're buying these assets at 25, 30 cents on the dollar. We're making our money on the buy. We get people that go through our training, and it's kind of interesting because they might be a couple months into the process and they're doing really great with the buy. Like they've bought 5 properties, but they're just a little dejected that they haven't had a sale yet. And I just say to them, but listen, You bought 5 properties at a huge discount. What'd you buy these properties? You bought 5 properties for how much? $10,000. You're $10,000 all into these properties? Yeah. What are they worth? 40. 40. Like, that's amazing. That's an amazing. And then I just love those wins that we get in our community, right? And I love those wins that we get in our business. And when you have an asset like that, that is limited, it's not going away. You know, as the cost of everything else goes up, land's going to go up as well, right? And then we sell these things on owner financing, and we get this little paycheck every month for this land that we own, and we control that land for the life of the loan. I think it's a really smart hedge against inflation, right? Which is what we're talking about tonight, kind of.
No, we are.
We are.
We are. I mean, how many times can we really
Talk
especially
about
since we're not I mean, it's boring, right? We're all feeling it.
Yeah.
Like you go to the grocery store, like, oh, there's inflation, right? But
Yep.
you don't see it necessarily when you're making an investment in cash, and you don't
Right.
think, oh wait, this has to get over 8.5% for it to actually grow and fight the gravity of inflation of my purchasing power.
Right.
That's the problem. And look, I know it's fun to trip on financial advisors. They do have a place, and you know, the place is when you're rich, and you go to
Right.
the rich John Burnett, and you say it's time to diversify. You've got 100 million in land in your business. Let's put some of that into this mix of different assets, so that you're not so concentrated in one asset bucket. That's fair. But the majority of people who really make real money in this country, they do it through a business.
Yeah.
And and that's the truth. And then they go into diversify into other investments. What's great about us is that we get both. We have our business of investing, and the problem that we have is that nothing beats our investment.
Right.
And so my financial advisors hate me. They're like, you should diversify. I'm like, well, why? What's better than what I'm doing? Like, okay, good point. But what if this happens or that happens? Like, great, the world's on sale. I'm buying more land. They're like, okay, well, like there's no argument there.
Right.
Like, you know, pandemics, floods, fires, we're fine. The land just continues to quietly go up in value.
You know, we don't have to, we could even set aside financial advisors for a second. Just talk about our general group of people that we surround ourselves with, which you did already, but in a different sense. Like I was talking to someone today about this, Mark. It's like, if I'm getting ready to take action on this business and I'm not quite sure I want to do it, so let me just ask my friends and see what they think about it. Well, this is such a tight niche. This is such a unique model that people are going to look at you like, what? I know when I first started, that was the dangerous part, is trying to get validation for what I'm about to do from people that don't know how to do it, right? So I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna go do this. Like, what? Like, because it's such a unique niche. It's so different than anything out there that mainstream. There's no TV shows on it. We talk about that because, you know, we don't argue about cabinets and countertops. It's not fix it or flip it. It's not exciting. So, you know, we joke like flipping dirt. It'd be like, you know, just like pretty boring. We'd have that great people only buy land opening, and then it would go flat. It would be nothing, right? So to talk to other people about this venture you're getting into can be harmful in the beginning, you know, because they don't really have any insight to offer you other than, you know, what they're typically accustomed to is what we're all accustomed to before we get in contact with this model. So again, another reason to surround yourself in a new community of people that are what I love about, and this is not to talk about, but we do have this process called Flight School. And one of the key components is we have these 4 mastermind calls each week. We call them office hours, but you're literally surrounding yourself with other people building their land business, led by somebody who's an expert, who's replaced their income, or their spouses or both, with land investing. And this is the environment. This is the environment you need to saturate yourself into. And I even tell people, Mark, what I love about us here at Land Geek is when we have these team meetings, we don't talk about how can we make more money. We talk about how can we have people how can we create a better experience. And we used to have one mastermind call, one office hours on Thursday nights. Now we have 4 because collectively it was decided we need to do better. We can do better. So now 4 times, and I tell you, don't get overloaded. We want you to come to at least 1, but if you can come to 4 nights a week, imagine that, surrounding yourself by other people building this business led by an expert. How is that going to change your frame of reference, your mind, and your ability to grow? It's massive.
No, 100%. And I'm a big Ray Dalio fan, and it's like evolve or die. And so, we do subscribe to the idea of Kaizen, continuous improvement. And in every aspect of our business, we try to continuously improve. And to Mike's point, we just looked at the data and said, well, we need to have more calls. Not enough? Okay, we're going to do it.
Yeah. Huge.
Yeah. So I feel like John is like way out the back of the room.
Spaceship. You're a spaceship right now? Are you on your way to Mars? Where are you going?
Literally in a spaceship. This is what time freedom looks like, people. You get your own
I'm on my way to Mars.
I can literally work from anywhere. I'm between Saturn and whatever's after Saturn, Uranus. I don't know.
Gee.
There goes our rating. There goes our G podcast rating.
FCC.
There you go.
My office has had 2 power outages in like the last 30 minutes. And so right now we're on my phone with 4% battery. And so if I blink out, it's not because I don't love you guys. But
All right, sounds good. Thanks for the warning.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Is that your
John,
Starlink
before
acting
you-
up over there? Or? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Before you blink out, like, what are your thoughts about all this?
about all of this as far as continuous improvement or retirement
Continuous
or just
improvement,
anything?
inflation, land. Like, what's what's going on in that big brain of yours?
Oh man, so many things. No, so somebody sent me a friend
I think
talked
Can
about.
you guys hear John? Oh, there he goes.
You guys hear
We
me?
lost you for a second. Yep.
Oh, okay. So somebody sent me a video recently, a friend, and it was talking about how it was making the case that if you are making $5,000 a month, you're effectively a virtual millionaire. So that's the equivalent of making 6% interest annually, right? On $1 million, right? And so when you think about it in terms, in those specific terms, right, you can radically outpace what you could ever get in the stock market with way less of an investment, right? And then you can just continuously build that from there. So I don't know, it's just neat. It's neat when I jumped into this, Valerie and I, we really we were nervous about the stock market, and we didn't want to throw a bunch of money in there. And we wanted to build something that we controlled, that we could enjoy in the meantime, right? So it's not just this thing for like way out in the future, whenever we hit that, what is it, 64, 65, something, that age. Like, we wanted something that actually afforded us freedom now, that we could enjoy now. And also something with a low barrier of entry, right? Because we didn't have we were better off than some, but we still didn't have like gobs and gobs and gobs of money to just invest in something, right? And so the fact that you can have a low barrier of entry, we talk about like land arbitrage, right? Like, you can invest $100 a month and then sell it and make $200 a month, and then all of a sudden you're making, to make $100 a month in cash flow. Usually, like, the investment to make $100 in cash flow is usually crazy, right? And typically that comes with maybe appreciation and stuff like that as well. But at the same time, just being able to do that at such a low barrier to entry is really, I think, radically appealing about the model. So that's what's going on in this big brain.
John, your brain is shrinking every day you use AI. You're just getting a little bit
I know.
less smart. I'm sorry. It's how
Yeah.
it's what's happening. It's happening to all of us, but especially you. I just
Well, speaking of the spaceship, we always talk about TV shows and whatnot. Is this Alien Earth exciting to anybody? Mark, you probably didn't watch TV anymore,
geez,
right?
that was a big transition. I do like Alien Earth. The CGI isn't the best in some spots though, so I don't know. And who wants to see the full xenomorph? It's more fun when you don't see the whole xenomorph, isn't it?
I don't even know what a xenomorph is, but I
The
You're in
alien
a
monster.
spaceship. How can
obviously
you be in a
just part of it.
spaceship and not know that, John?
I mean,
Mark's like, what's going on? Mark, the Alien TV show.
Like the
Have
old
you heard
Alien movies back in the day with Sigourney Weaver. Now
Yeah.
There's an Alien TV show now.
they're coming to Earth. It's
oh,
supposed to be riveting.
that's
It's
a
supposed to
It's called
xenomorph.
Alien
Wait,
Earth.
where can I see this?
Hulu,
Hulu. Okay.
FX or Hulu.
And so
That's
John
actually
I feel like aliens gonna come gobble them up any second now. It's just really
It's like come down through the ceiling.
Oh, man.
I'll show you land investing, mortal. All right. We'll go
let's
back
get to
to the investing.
let's get to some questions. How about we get to some questions? And thank you everyone for joining us. We have some regulars on the show. Daniel Bryan is here. Michael Leone says it's the best part of his Tuesday night. That's very nice, Michael.
All right.
Dinesh said he's joining his favorite group here
Ooh.
tonight. He's from Vancouver. Don Murray started reading Dirt Rich a month ago. Very good. Let's see. A few comments from Gary Dalton. I got a shout out. I'm too humble to read it though. Maybe.
Oh,
someone
come
else
on,
to
just
read
read
it.
it. I want to hear
read
it.
We did
I
not.
I just want to
to-
hear it.
All right.
Please.
Okay. So Gary
Walked
said,
into that, Mark. You loaded it right up. That was so simple.
"Yeah, that was."
Jeez.
I just said so. Gary and I had a nice call today, right? And what I love about the calls that I have with people is I just love talking about the business. The business has really changed my life, and he, I think, appreciated that. So I was honest on the call, and he says, "These guys, all of us, it's a shout out to all of us. We're the real deal," which is awesome. So
Thank you,
Gary,
Dalton.
nice to meet you today. Fun call today. Let's see. Let's get into some couple technical questions.
All right.
Oh, but this is from Brian. This is a group he can relate with. We love that. Good to see you, Brian. All right. Question from Dinesh. If we cannot claim depreciation on land, do you take the profits and buy cash flowing houses to offset gains, or keep plowing it into land and claim expenses,
Like plowing it into land. Good.
acquisition, marketing, etc.?
This is a mock question all day long.
Mark?
Such a good question. Thank you, Dinesh. Just serving it up. Okay. So, Dinesh, you're right. If we were gonna poke one hole into our land investing model, it's that we don't get depreciation because land lasts forever. So my multifamily friends, they are jealous of me because I don't have to deal with any tenants and toilets and termites and the headaches of a physical asset that they have to keep pouring money into, right? But then they're like, "Oh, I don't pay taxes because I get the depreciation." So I'm jealous of them, and because I have to pay taxes. Now, for those of you that want to get a little technical, can we get a little financially nerdy? Is that okay?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Hmm.
All right. So you ankle biters who are just getting into this is a little bit more advanced. So, maybe have a drink and take a break from this because it probably won't apply to you. But for the rest of you who are a little bit more intermediate and advanced, there is something called a cost segregation study that you can do on your raw land, which means if there's anything that God did not put on that land, you can depreciate. So we do get some depreciation now on raw land. Now, that being said, let's go back to Dinesh's question. We take the profits, and certainly we can keep buying more land which I recommend. But at some point, as your wealth does grow and your tax rate does continue to grow, there is nothing wrong with buying a traditional asset that is going to give you that depreciation and that cash flow. The question is, how involved do you want to be in it?
Mhm.
So certainly like a multifamily fund might be a better strategy to get depreciation than say you going out and buying 10 houses yourself. And because now you're trading quality of life for the tax man, right? So I never want the tax tail to wag the investment dog. And so that was one of my bigger mistakes when I was younger and less wise, was I would make investments just to lower my taxes, and they weren't good investments at all. So if we use that as our logic, then I would say that for the majority of you, you want to take your profits and continue buying land, continue getting 50, 70, 90, 110% yields on your money. Pay the tax, right? My dad used to say, don't complain about taxes. It means you're making money.
Very
But
true,
also,
very
it also
true.
keeps your life simple as well. Now, once you get to John Burnett level, yeah, maybe you go a little bit more sophisticated and you get to do those kinds of things. But for most people, just build your wealth, build your passive income. Then you get that new problem of what do I do with taxes?
Awesome. Very great answer. We knew we came to the right guy with that one. That's awesome. Thank you, Mark. Jeremy Rhodes wants to learn more about this. Jeremy, you're in the right spot. You're in the right place. Come join us every Tuesday night. We have a different topic. We feature successful land geek land investors. We had a podcast a couple of weeks ago where we broke down the entire business from beginning to end in an entire hour. That was a fun podcast. It was probably 4 weeks ago now. So if you go back and look at the YouTube glossary there, the Land Geek glossary, you should be able to find that. But anyway, want to learn more about this? The podcasts are a great reference for you, a resource for you. Dirt Rich 1 and Dirt Rich 2, of course, good resources for you.
Great point.
What's that?
I was just going to mention to Mark. I forgot. Now I remember. People see Dirt Rich 1. We got to promote Dirt Rich 2. I don't know why, but people tend to not know there's a Dirt Rich 2. How can we get that word out?
I agree.
We haven't really launched it and marketed it because it's really more for somebody who wants to scale a land business. Okay. So you start with Dirt Rich. You get on a call with you, Scott, or John. You start doing the business, and then it's like, oh, wait, I want to scale. Okay. I'm going to build this machine. I'm going to hire virtual assistants. I'm going to buy back my time. Then you kind of go into Dirt Rich 2. So it's on Amazon. I'm not really promoting it very heavily. We're still building out sort of the back end.
Perspective for an investor, a land investor who's already building their business, and now maybe they've gone through flight school and they're starting to get ready to scale. This is a good opportunity now to dig into Dirt Rich 2. It'll make more sense, is what you're saying. It'll be more relevant. Yeah,
exactly. Like if I'm Jeremy Rhodes, I want to learn more about this. Like, how do I get a call with you guys?
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have a link?
But I can't post links here. You always put me on the spot. Scott, you're the link guy. Scott, post the link. I can't post links here.
Come on, Scott. You can figure it out.
Could Jeremy just go on like the landgeek.com?
Yes. He can go to the landgeek.com
and then schedule a call.
Exactly. Landgeek.com/training. I'm just giving Mike a hard time.
Oh, that's okay. That's how
I'd like to be the link guy.
You know, I always say if they're not making fun of you, they don't like you.
By the way, John, I think he had 1% battery life left.
Oh, the aliens got him.
So,
I don't know. The aliens took him out. He's gone.
The aliens got him, exactly. A lot of people looking forward to November 6th, November 5th and 6th. That's exciting. Dinesh wants to know how often we hold boot camps. So we have, what do we have, Mark? 2 to 3 virtual boot
we have
camps a year?
2 we have next year. They're
Two?
going to be virtual. Then we're going to have another Dirt Rich Summit.
Awesome.
And then, so we'll have at least 3
events
live.
next year.
The next one's
3
in
events.
January, right? The next actual Zoom boot camp is January, I believe.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
is
third
it
weekend
January?
in January, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan has a good point here. Warren Buffett made his billions by buying $1 for 30 cents. And we're on our way.
Epic.
Epic.
Yeah,
Daniel Bryan, it's so funny. Like, you bring up Warren Buffett, because at boot camp, I'll ask people, how many of you would want to be with Warren Buffett? And people are in the chat and they're typing, I want to be Warren Buffett. I want to be Warren Buffett. Me, I'm like, no, you don't. He's 94 years old. No one wants to be Warren Buffett. We just want his billions,
Oh, so
but we don't want to be him. And so getting back to the original theme of the Nite Cap is, we want that trifecta of money, time, and health at the prime of our life. We don't want it in retirement when, yeah, we have time and maybe we have money, but we don't have the health. We want to do it now. We want to fight, Zano at a Dirt Rich Summit and get cauliflower ear at the prime of our life. That's what we want to do. We want to live,
a HIPAA
baby,
violation.
live.
That's a HIPAA violation. You just told the world Mike has cauliflower ear. That's not cool. That wasn't cool.
I'm sorry.
Oh, good.
I'm really having a bad night. I'm sorry.
Well, look, we got 5 minutes left, Mark. Here's a question I think we should ask you. All these people, I think a lot of them are very new. What is put you on the spot a little bit here. What would you say is the number one best piece of advice you could give someone who's coming into this business? First time they're coming in, what is the one nugget of advice? I don't know. Take it any way you want. Like, what would you tell them if they had the luxury of spending, 30 seconds to a minute with you, and you were going to give them just like, hey, this is it. This is what's going to make or break you. I don't know, anything. What would you say?
Okay, so 2 things come to mind.
Okay.
For like the best piece of advice. The first one is just having grit. I think that's, we don't talk about, I mean, I know we talk about it, right? Like embracing the suck, having grit, having resilience.
Right.
I just think that if you want to be successful, not just the land business, but just in anything, you've got to stay in it long enough to have competence. And so when I go on other people's podcasts, they're like, what's your best piece of advice? I always quote Zig Ziglar as like the best piece of advice for success, which is, if you'll do for the next 3 to 5 years what other people won't do, you'll be able to do for the rest of your life what other people can't do. Now, notice he doesn't say 3 to 6 months. It's 3 to 5 years of sticking with something. I've been doing the same damn thing for 25 years. I'm an inch wide and a mile deep. And every year I get a little bit better. It just compounds and compounds and compounds.
Yes.
Right? And that's what we've been doing. That's what you guys are doing. All the successful land investors I know, it's a fine wine business. They've just been doing it longer than you. And that's why they're more successful.
Really?
But at some point, I love how you're taking notes. And at some point, you'll be that person. And it doesn't, even if it's not the land business, whatever you choose to do it long enough to get really great at it. And then you have your competitive advantage. But oftentimes we get frustrated. We feel like it's not for me. Whatever it is, whatever that, what Stephen Pressfield would call the resistance, right? Whatever a mind saying, this isn't good for us, whatever it is, then you go to the next thing, but then you're starting again from scratch. So when we look at nature, right? Nature just shows us the way. It doesn't need to do anything. It just is what it does, and it just grows. It just takes time.
Right. I love
That's
it.
a long-winded answer.
Oh, I love it.
Dude,
And when I wrote,
yeah. I'm
I
sorry.
wrote down Zig Ziglar because I remember listening to him 30 years ago, and I forgot about that. I want to revisit him.
Yeah, but I'd be curious.
he's
Like,
awesome.
what about you guys? Like, what do you think the best piece of advice would be for success?
I just think it's all about showing up, right? So it's an hour or two a day. It's just you just need to do it. Just block your calendar out and do an hour or two a day, and that hour or two a day it's learning or doing or both, in my opinion, right? Like there can be times when you send mailers out and you're like, oh, now what do I do? Well, you got to go learn something, right? What I love about you, Mark, is you have endless resources for learning. I mean, you can go back the podcast from 10 years ago, you can still learn stuff from, right? You have a 10-year library of podcasts. If you have a long commute, learn something. Turn the news off. That'll be there tomorrow. Learn something, right? That's my thing. Is just show up. I think if you just show up and you do that consistently, it's the consistency that is key in this entire thing. And then to not quit when you're feeling you're in a dip. Like those people I was talking about who were discouraged because they bought 5 properties and they hadn't sold any yet.
Right.
You're only 3 months into this, right? This is a 3 to 5 year journey, right? So that's what I would recommend to people.
I love that. I should be taking notes. Zen Master, what about you?
I would say
I didn't see Mike's notebook come up for that.
Yeah.
I write down.
I'm using granola as my note taker, by the way, so I don't have to manually do it.
I was writing down low, Scott. Writing low.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what I tell people is they have one mantra they need to embrace is failure is not an option. That's it. Failure is not an option. You're going to fall down. You're going to skin your knees. You're going to cut your knees, skin your hands a little bit, but you're going to get up and you're going to fail forward. Failure is not an option until you get this. So, and that goes back to what you said, Mark, with grit, and what you said with Scott with consistency. I think it's all the same message, right? It's like, to me, entrepreneurs are superheroes. I always tell people this on the calls with them. It's like we pick ourselves up by our own bootstraps. We weren't born with the money, the silver spoon in the mouth. Like, we're going to create this. The scary part is that, if it's a failure, it's on us. But if it's success, it's on us as well. So, that's the double-edged sword there. But failure isn't an option. So just keep failing forward. If you do fall down, get back up. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Awesome.
I love
Thank
it.
you, guys.
Yeah.
John, what do you think?
Next week we're picking on John. He's going to answer these questions.
Next week we have a student spotlight, I think, with the student yet to be determined. We got to figure out who the student is. But hopefully that'll be a Land Geek spotlight next week on those folks. Can we give Daniel help with something though, real quick? Because he's on the verge of something here. So let's answer this, and then we'll toast to a good evening. But Mark, he's drooling at this right now. Daniel got the starter kit a few months ago. He's coming to Texas. He hopes to do flight school at some point. He's bought and sold his first property, I believe. Someone wants to sell him 21 properties, Mark. He's not sure if he should go all in on this one area, even though the price is good. Any advice for Daniel?
So Daniel, this is so funny. I'll tell the Jeff Detmer story.
Yeah.
So we're at boot camp, and Jeff Detmer has a very similar deal, and he's walking me through the deal, and he's nervous, and he looks at me, he's like, "Should I buy these properties?" I'm like, "Well, if you won't, I will." And he did it, and he made, I don't know how much money he made. He made a lot of money. He just needed that push. So Daniel, you don't want them? Send them to me. I'll buy them. Because look, we're making our money on the buy. Now I get that you're nervous. I get that it's a lot of property, but let's walk through the worst case scenario. So Mike, what's the worst case scenario here? He's got 21 properties. What can you do with it?
He can wholesale them. And what I was going to say is, here's a simple little thing, get them under agreement, and then go into the Facebook group and say, I have these properties under agreement. I'm thinking about wholesaling them. See who's interested, show them the pricing. If you get a bunch of people because it's going to confirm what you already know, that it's a good deal. And by the way, you could pre-sell them that way. So use the Facebook group. People in there, they're always looking for property. Go in there and say, hey, I got properties in XYZ County. If you're interested, I'll send you a list. Send them a list. You have your purchase price. if you got them at the right price, you should be able to bump them up by several $100s and make some, even if you made $300 or $400 times 21, like that's a great that's a great return. And if people are biting on that, well, then you have an easy exit should you need it.
Awesome.
I love it. Daniel, does that help? Wait, Scott,
Daniel,
what would you do?
Oh yeah. I mean, there's not much we don't buy at a deep discount, right? If I can get there, if it has some type of use, if I can find some data in that area that properties are being sold, right? But even still, like if you know you're getting them at a good price, Daniel. I mean, I do like Mike's approach. You could wholesale half of them, and your cost basis on this entire 21 bulk property deal goes way down, right?
Yeah.
And then you sell the rest for retail and make killer returns. So sounds good to me. I haven't seen the properties. Sounds good.
Yeah. And by the way, I always get so excited when the ankle biters who are just starting a land business get these big bulk deals. Like everybody's like, oh, it's so hard to get deals. No, just show up. They're out there. There's great deals out there.
100%.
They're out there.
Awesome. Somebody asked earlier, I think the answer was the land contract. They were asking what the 3 documents were you mentioned on was it the land?
Yeah, it was land sale contract, promissory note, purchase sale agreement. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to throw that.
I put it in the chat there. So
I didn't see the chat. I can't.
That's okay. You were too busy taking notes. We may have left 1 or 2 questions unanswered. We apologize. We'll get to them next week.
We're happy you're all here, though. That's amazing. And if you listen to the end, say what you said at the beginning, Scott, because they might be listening to the recording. They didn't hear that.
Tune in next Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, for a Land Geek Spotlight. We're gonna spotlight a successful client and hear their story. So
I love it. And can I ask the audience for a favor? Is that cool?
Yeah.
Of course.
Or am I being presumptuous?
Be presumptuous. Embrace
audience, I don't want to be presumptuous, but if you have one person in your life, just one person that you think would benefit from listening to us jokers one night a week on Tuesday night, have them get a drink, do Nite Cap, please share this with that one friend so that they can also benefit from the incredible business model that we are touting, but also up-leveling their mindset as well. Just even if it's not for them, they're still going to get little nuggets of wisdom that they can apply maybe somewhere else in their life. And again, you want to be the average of the 5 people you hang out with. This 4 is not so bad.
3.
It's very true.
3. Well, yeah. What we John over here? The Snuffleupagus.
Aliens got him. It's over.
He's been abducted. All right.
All right. So just forward it to one person. Go on YouTube or Facebook. Take the link. Forward it to that one person that you know is, they hate their job and they're in a funk. Like let's do this together as like one friend. Be cool.
Love it.
I love it too. I'm going to do that tomorrow, Mark. I'm going to forward this on to a friend.
I'm going to do it. I'm
all right.
Yeah.
Mike.
I'm in.
All right.
All right.
Sounds good. Well, thanks everybody for a good night. This was fun. We will see you next week. Cheers to all. And thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, guys.
Talk to you later.
Love you guys.
Love you too.